Hello fellow cinephiles, Film Guru here. Today I'm reviewing The Peanut Butter Falcon. This was directed by Hylan Nielsen and Michael Schewitz and stars Zach Gottsagen, Shia Lebouf and Dakota Johnson. The film really focuses on Zach, played by Zach Gottsagen, a young man with Down syndrome who runs away from his nursing home in order to try and live his dream of becoming a professional wrestler and attending the wrestling school of a saltwater redneck. Through circumstances beyond their control, Tyler, played by Shia Lebouf, a small-time outlaw on the run, becomes Zach's unlikely coach and ally and friend. I'm a bit late to the party with this film, but we only just got it. I love so much about this film. I love the simplicity of it. I love that it was an independent film. The acting was solid. Everybody does a really great job. It's just a well-made, orchestrated and written film that really sucks you in. In many ways, it feels like something Mark Twain had written, like Tom Sawyer and Huckleberry Finn. It just sort of felt like that. It was about these two unlikely people becoming friends and going on this journey together. Both on the run, one of them heading towards a dream and the other one trying to provide the opportunity for him to achieve that. And I really loved that. I thought that was fantastic. As the story goes, Zach Gottsagen, I'm sorry if I'm not pronouncing that properly, but he was a young guy who always wanted to be an actor, and these guys wrote the film just around him and ultimately able to provide an opportunity for him to act in a movie. And he's absolutely fantastic. He has a lot of really funny lines. He's really solid in it. There's a lot of improvisation happening within the film with his character and the actor himself. And there's very funny moments that he provides in this film, such as at the beginning of the film, he tries to break out by having another person at the nursing home pretend that they're choking so he can make a run for it. That's really clever and well done, and this is well orchestrated in the film, and you get to see this throughout of these different things that he does. There's a really great hero shining moment at the end during a wrestling match, which is really great. It's funny, a little over top, but very well done. I think Dakota Johnson's really solid here. Look, I think she adds a lot to the film. She becomes the third wheel, I guess you could say, in the trio that becomes the main focus of the film. And she's ultimately trying to do the right thing by Zach and trying to get him back and trying to help him, but she's ultimately treating him like he has a disability. And she sort of learns throughout the film that he's much more than what he seems, and he's much more capable than he thinks he is. And I really like that as well. Besides Zach, I think Shia is great. He really immerses himself in this character. It's the first thing I've seen Shia in quite some time, and he's really believable here. He feels like he's become the actor he's always wanted to be. He improvises in scenes, he's funny, he's very realistic, you believe what he's saying, you believe he is this person and not an actor playing a person. He's just very believable, and the dynamics and the relationship and the chemistry he has with Zach on screen is absolutely fantastic. I like how they convey their relationship, not through words, but through actions. You see them interacting with each other. You see Zach training and Tyler trying to help him train. And you see parts of their past, especially Tyler. You find out who he is and why he's going down the path. And his brother's talked about a lot throughout the film, but his brother ultimately isn't there anymore, and we get to see why, but it's done through visuals, not through him explaining anything. And it's just enough for the audience to grasp of what happened and the relationship he did have with his brother. And it looks at the relationship it sort of forms between Tyler and Eleanor is really great as well, and the chemistry between Shia and Dakota Johnson is evident throughout this film. The costume he wears feels very lived in. The environment feels very real. Some really nicely shot sequences and scenes, and the camera work is really well done. It's got some solid and interesting music. It creates such an interesting and absorbing film in many ways. When these characters are going on the journey, you're there with them. You feel like you're going on a journey as they're going on a journey. And they add so much to each other's lives. Like you look at Zach, the character of Zach. He's this young guy with a disability who has Down syndrome, and his family can't, support him or help him anymore. So they've sort of stuck him into this retirement village with all these older people, and he just doesn't feel part of that. He always tries to escape, and he wants to live the life he wants to live. But it's like they won't allow him to do it, and they've sort of contained him in this small thing. But once he meets Tyler, puts into him, he can accomplish anything he wants. He doesn't treat him like he has Down syndrome, like he says to him. He just simply treats him as a human being, and he treats him as a person, and that just because he has his disability doesn't affect his heart and who he is as a person. And it's this unlikely friendship that begins between these two that is really the crux and the heart of the film. And I like that the Tyler character, like I said, feels really lost, and this gives him a purpose once again, and it feels like the bond that forms with these two men is like they're brothers again. It's like he has another brother, a younger brother that he needs to take care of and but also inspire and help him like his brother did to him. And that's really what it's at the center of this film, and I absolutely love that. There's really a lot of humorous moments. There is a little bit of violence in it. The ending is kind of shocking, but I'm glad they didn't choose to do something that I thought they were going to do, which I liked. It's just a refreshing and unique film. It's a film I think we really need these days, especially with all this stuff happening in the world. It's good to have a really nice, cemented, simple, well-made story, well told, about interesting characters that has a good message in the middle of it. And it's just this adventure that these two men go on, and this adventure we go on as an audience. I loved all the side characters it had. Bruce Dern appears, Hayden Christian Church is in it as well, and there's just a really colourful bunch of people that don't feel like actors, they feel like real people. They come across this blind sort of guy who lives in this sort of junkyardish area and ultimately provides assistance for him, and he adds a lot of humorous moments to it as well. And he just felt like a real person that they found and just put in the film. And it must have been relaxing on set because they just felt like the people who were non-actors just felt really believable, like they were really real and felt very comfortable to express themselves that way. There's some other great moments, and especially towards the end, where they travel all this way to meet this guy who's this wrestler who's on this videotape that Zach has been watching over and over and over. For 2 years he's been watching this tape. He ultimately meets him, and he's not quite what he seems, and the school isn't quite what it seems to be either. But after Tyler interacts with this particular character, this character takes up the mantle and once again and ultimately gives hope and joy to this young man, Zach, because this is what he's always wanted to do, and he provides him with that moment. And there's a moment where he gets to become a wrestler, and he wrestles in a match, and it's just really profound what they're able to accomplish with him, and I really love that. Final thoughts. At the heart of this film, it's really about friendship. It's about relationships. It's about the family we choose for ourselves, not the family we're born in. And that can be a multitude of different people. It's about providing something for someone, being that thing, treating them like a human being and not some disability they might have, but treating them as the same as everyone else. I think that's so important. It also looks at how it's never too late to work towards some goal you've had for a long time and be able to accomplish that. And it's not too late for someone who feels guilty for something or responsible for something to be able to move on, to be able to use the skills and abilities they have as a person and pass that on to someone and support them in a really fantastic way. I just think overall it's a beautiful film. I'm going to give The Peanut Butter Falcon 4.5 out of 5. I really enjoyed my experience. I thought it was a solid movie, has a lot of heart, has some really great characters, some really great acting especially from Zach and Shia Lebouf. And it's just really good to see a well-made and nice film with a good message. Anyway, that's all from me today. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please hit subscribe down the bottom. Follow me on Facebook and Twitter. Otherwise, until next time, enjoy the movies.